Relationship advice. I, 52 male, just found out at least 4 of my 5 children, 33 female, 30 female, 28 male, 24 female, 14 female, are not mine. Wife, 51 female, won't say anything. First of all, I'm sorry if this ends up being long and rambly. I am not really in the best state of mind. My world has been turned upside down over the last couple of weeks. I just want to write as much context as possible, so I can get the best advice needed. For obvious reasons, I am not yet comfortable talking about this with my friends/parents/siblings. Background: I met my wife when we were in high school and we married in college. We have 5 beautiful children together. Really, I consider them a total blessing regardless of what I am about to bring up, and up until a couple of weeks ago I thought that we had the perfect marriage. We were typical high school sweethearts. We go out together, we never fight. I feel like I've done everything a loving husband should do. I am saying this not to make myself out as the perfect husband. For example, my work has always meant I work long hours and maybe haven't always been there when she needed me, but I want to stress that I've never felt our marriage was in any trouble. And never in a million years would I ever have suspected my wife of being disloyal. She's always done everything she could to support me and take care of our children. Now, my eldest daughter recently had an ancestry test done, and the results of the ancestry test strongly suggested I was not her father. She confided this to me privately, showing me the results, and I could tell she was visibly upset by this. Of course, the first thing I did was reassure her that no matter what, she's my daughter and I'll always love her unconditionally. But secondly, the two of us decided to get an official paternity test, since the ancestry tests are not completely reliable. It comes back and I am indeed not her biological father. This news really broke me. I'm ashamed to say, I broke down in tears in front of my daughter. The combination of finding out about my wife's infidelity, and how upset I was making my daughter by how I was reacting. I really wish I had kept it in for her sake, but I didn't. Following this, I asked my other children, except my youngest, to come and see me. I wanted to know the extent of my wife's infidelity. If it was a one-off, I could maybe work past it, especially given how long ago it would be. However, I didn't want to tell my youngest as she is still in school, a teenager, and really, I didn't think it was appropriate to tell her yet. We tell the other 3 what has happened. I reassure them that I love them unconditionally and that I'll always be their dad, but that I need to know how long this has been going on. God, I can't begin to explain how touching their reaction was. They didn't care I wasn't their biological father, they were just upset at how heartbroken I was. I feel like the only thing that has kept me going these last couple of weeks is their unwavering support. So, we have paternity tests for each of the 3 done. Not only are none of them my biological children, together, 4 of my children have 3 different fathers. Which somehow made it worse. It's like, she wasn't just having an ongoing affair, she was having multiple? I can't explain how this make it worse, but it just does. So, I confront my wife with this, expecting her to confess and beg for forgiveness. She doesn't confess. She doesn't even take it seriously. She says the tests must be flawed. All 4? How the hell am I supposed to take that seriously? I keep bringing it up and she keeps brushing it off, getting progressively more annoyed at me. When I bring it up, she will try and guilt trip me. We've been together since high school, do you seriously not trust me? Etc. But how am I supposed to trust her in the face of such overwhelming evidence? Now that I have rambled and explained what has happened, I guess let me ask a few direct questions for advice. 1. How can I reassure my children this doesn't change anything between us? I feel like the way I have reacted, total breakdowns, has made them second-guess this, despite however many times I reassure them. 2. How do I handle my youngest daughter? I feel like our marriage is beyond saving, and I will need to tell my daughter something. I don't want her to know the truth until she's older, but I also don't want my wife lying and making me out to be the villain. 3. Is there any way at all, you think I could or should save my marriage? I've been with my wife my entire life. It's almost impossible to see a life without her. I know that the answer should be a clear-cut leave her, but we have 5 kids together. If there's anything that can be done to save our marriage, I want to consider it seriously. Let's read some comments first before we read the updates. I wouldn't worry about trying to save the marriage. If she's still lying to you, in the face of overwhelming evidence, then there's nothing left to save. Talk to a lawyer about how to start the divorce process, and follow their advice to the letter. Sit your youngest down and have an age-appropriate conversation with her. Tell her that you and her mother will be getting a divorce. That it turns out that the other kids aren't your biological kids. That you still love them and are still their father, but you won't be able to stay married to their mother. That she can have a DNA test done as well if she wants. But that she doesn't have to, you'll love her, and she'll be your daughter either way. She also doesn't have to decide that right now. Then take it one step at a time. Sort out the logistics of leaving, find yourself a new place and get yourself set up. From there, I'd start looking at ways to maintain your relationship with all of your children. With the youngest, make sure to get as much custody as you can, even full custody if that's possible. For all of the children, try to come up with some traditions that everyone could enjoy. Maybe they all come over for dinner at your house once a month. Maybe there's a standing invitation for any of them to come over for Sunday lunch. Maybe you get together every so often and try something new together, pottery/kayaking/rock climbing, etc. Whatever will work with everyone's schedules. Make sure you keep in touch with each of them individually as well. Ask about how their lives are going. Offer to help them with projects they're doing, especially around the home. Be good to them and to yourself. And never badmouth their mother. I don't think you would, from what you've written, but try to never to set them up in opposition to her. Or that they can't see her/treat her well if they want you to like them. You'll be co-parenting with your soon-to-be ex for the next several years, so make sure that's as easy as possible for everyone concerned. And make sure you get your youngest child to a counselor/therapist. This will be devastating for her. Hi. I'm really sorry to hear this. What a brutal and cold way to find something like that out. And for her to lie continuously? Is unbelievable. It's deplorable. I wanted to try to answer your questions. 1. It sounds like you handled this like a champ and spoke to your kids before and after, about how much this didn't affect your relationship or love. Just keep that up. They will need you. You will need them. 2. Your youngest will have questions, and it's up to you when she's ready to hear the truth. This one sucks, but you seem like an amazing dad, and if your wife decides to lie, you may have to take her crap for a while for your child's sake. Your other kids may defend you. The truth may come out. 3. It would be a no for me unless she immediately confesses entirely, and takes responsibility and apologizes. And agrees to therapy, both individual and couples. For me, I would need full access to her phones, her emails, everything. She's still lying to you right now with actual DNA proof in your hands. That's BS. Anything else, just ask. I would leave. She had multiple affairs, and multiple children with multiple men and can't even own it when caught. But I never want to be like that person who just says leave. It's a lot. There's a lot we don't know. This is your life. Thank you so much for your kind words and support. The consensus on my youngest seems to be that I should tell her the truth now. That waiting until she's older might make her feel betrayed for being kept in the dark. Do you have any thoughts on that? My top priority right now is her well-being. Everyone else is an adult and can handle whatever happens, but she is still young and I worry that it will seriously negatively affect her development. More edits and little updates from the poster. Edit: thanks so much to everyone for all the support and advice. I have not replied to as many comments as I should have, but I've read each and every one and taken your advice to heart. I'll continue reading any comments or messages you sent me. Again, I can't begin to thank you for all your support. If this is resolved, I might post an update, but if she continues to lie, then I don't think I'll bother, as there's not much more I can add. From the advice in this and the r/parenting thread, I've decided to 1. Get second tests just in case some freak accident has occurred. 2. Confront my wife with all 4 of my older children present. 3. Tell my youngest of the situation. Ask her if she wants to have a paternity test. It will be entirely her decision. 4. I'm 100% going to get some form of therapy. My mental state has really been deteriorating over the last couple of weeks, and I owe it to my kids to hold it together. 5. Depending on whether my wife tells the truth, and what her explanation is, if any, I have not ruled out some form of counseling. But at the moment I think divorce is inevitable, unless she changes her attitude drastically. 6. Contact a lawyer and prepare for divorce, if it comes to that. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you for the time you took to express your support and share advice. Edit 2, I guess I should clarify some things that people have been asking. 1. How did the ancestry results suggest I wasn't her father? My family is entirely Irish. No relatives outside of Ireland other than my immediate family, and I even have the stereotypical red hair. My daughter's ancestry results showed nothing from the British Isles/Western Europe/Northern Europe. That's what set off alarm bells, but it's by no means conclusive, hence the paternity tests. 2. Which 2 children share the same father? My 2 eldest daughters share the same father. 3. How did your wife conceive your children? Our eldest daughter was not planned. All the others were planned. Each time we conceived several months after we started trying. Our first 3 planned children were both our ideas, while she pressured me into having our youngest. She was in her late 30s and wanted one last child before it was too late, and eventually, I agreed. She was conceived several months after we started trying. 2. 4. Are you infertile? I don't know. I've never had a fertility test done. But the fact that none of our planned children are mine makes me think that I might be. I will have a fertility test as soon as possible. About future update. I have received a lot of messages/comments asking about an update, and countless remind me comments. I am unsure how they work, but I assume they are also after an update. I will post an update, but it will not be anytime soon. This entire mess will take a long time to, well, make any sense out of. I don't know when I will post an update, but it will be weeks from now at a minimum, if not months. But I promise it will come eventually. Once again, thanks for the tremendous support everyone has shown me. Final update. I have been debating whether or not to post an update, because nothing was ever resolved. I decided I would post it here in case anyone is still waiting for one. I apologize for not updating early when I promised I would. My kids and I confronted their mother shortly after making that post. It really didn't go well. I think the prospect that no one believed her finally hit home, because she completely broke down and apologized profusely, but refused to explain herself, or anything that would give myself peace of mind. For the next few weeks, we barely said a word to each other. I was hoping she was thinking it over, and I expected her to eventually sit me down and explain herself. I figured she was so far deep in a lie that got out of control, she needed time to think things over. Nope. I came home one evening to find she had ended herself by overdosing. So, I lost the love of my life, and I'll never know what mistakes she had made. I really wish I could go back in time and forget about it all. Whatever mistakes she made, I honestly wanted to work through it, and now I'm just riddled with guilt that I pressed her for an answer. The worst part of this entire ordeal was watching my kids work so hard to keep me together, after having lost their mother. Anyway, please tell your family you love them while you have the chance. Now for the comments. There is guilt that is earned, and guilt that is unearned. Your guilt over her death is unearned. You did nothing wrong by asking her, you did nothing wrong by trying to get answers so you both could move forward, which is what you are doing, asking so could figure out how to move forward, whether that be together or not. You did not put those pills in her hand. You did not tell her this was her only option. You did not make her decisions for herself. She did. She made the decisions to cheat, she made the decision to lie and continue to lie, she made the decision not to fight for her marriage when her bad choices came to light, to not fight for her children, her life. She made all those decisions, on her own, without you. That is on her, not you. Her guilt for those decisions was earned. You have no reason to carry her burden, you have not earned that guilt. I know that is way easier said than done, so I hope you are in therapy to help with the grieving process, which is always complicated, but particularly so in this case. I'm so sorry for your loss, and so sorry for all the pain you and your family have felt. Thank you for updating, though you owed us internet strangers nothing either. You did nothing wrong. What she did in the past, and her reaction to being found out were both completely out of your control. I'm sorry to say it, but ending her life the way she did was just as selfish as the decisions she made that lead to that decision. Be thankful to your children for being good people, and know that whatever else she was, she at least did her part in making them who they are today. Obviously return to therapy immediately. You're the only parent your children have left. It's going to be hard, but be strong for them. It'll get better. And that's it for this video guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day everyone.